So hello everyone. So here we are on lesson of Thursday. That's going to be 16th of April. And hopefully this is going to be the last lesson of yours. Okay. Later on you will get to know what we are going to do, what we will be doing next week. So that's going to be a surprise for you. Okay. So yesterday I hope the lesson was clear, and I told you once you finish watching that video, go back and watch another video which I had uploaded, right? Because unless you watch that, you will not be able to differentiate between these graphs. Okay, and I hope you have watched that, and the link for that was on Edmodo. Okay, so before we, as you know, today we'll be discussing the homework, but before we discuss the homework, I just want to show two questions here, because two or three of you said that you did not understand the lesson, it was not clear enough. So I just want to do these two questions, and I hope that will be more clear, and when we do the homework too, it will be more clear. And all what you can do is just repeat watching the video, because when you repeat, how many times you repeat, you will understand. That's the same thing I will do. I will keep repeating whenever you are say you don't understand. So because now we cannot do that, so you can repeat watching the video and then try to understand. Okay, so I will solve this question 25 and 28. Now I'm not telling you to solve it, but do watch it so that you will understand that they are two interesting questions. That's why I wanted to do it with you. Okay, so first let me do question number 25. That's x is greater or equal to 2 and x is less than or equal to 2. So these two inequalities, which means they are going to be two lines. They don't have any, we don't need any kind of intercepts or anything for this. Okay, so let's graph the lines and see what we are getting. So the question says x is greater or equal to 2. Okay, which means greater or equal to 2 means, you know, this is x, this is the x-axis, so the x of 2 is here. So which means it's, why did the circle come? Okay, which means it's going to be a straight line. That too, it's going to be a solid line. Why is it going to be a solid line? Because it said greater or equal, right? So when it says greater or equal, of course that's going to be a solid line. So make it straight. Okay, so this is going to be the line for x is greater or equal to 2. Fine. Now when you want to shade it, which part are you going to be shading when it says greater? When it says greater, of course you will be shading this part. Why will you shade this part? Because they said x is greater than 2, so all the numbers are greater than 2 are onto this side, right? So let's shade this part first. So x can be 3, x can be 4, it can be 5, it can be anything, but something which is less than 2. See, by mistake I colored that part also. Okay, you should not be coloring this part. You have to only color this. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be x is greater or equal to 2. Now the next one, they said x is less than or equal to 2. Now when they say x is less than or equal to 2, so where is the x of 2? 2 of x, the same line. When they say less, you are going to be coloring the opposite side. That's what we do usually, right? So let's color the opposite side because it's x is less than 2. So don't see the overlapping because that was my mistake which I did. Okay, so all x is less than 2 means every number which is less than 2 will come in that inequality. Okay, now how are we going to describe the solution for this equation, for this inequality? How do you think we're going to, like, the whole graph is colored, so what are we going to say? We just have to say that all points are solutions. Simple. See, I'll show you the page here. Okay, so once we colored that, the whole graph was colored, which means you just have to say all points are solutions. So that's why I said I just wanted you to see different kinds of questions of the same lesson. all points are solutions. That's because the whole graph was colored, and then there was no common part where it was like where they both were meeting, but the whole graph was colored. So that's why we said as all points are solutions. Fine. Let's go to question number 28. Now this I'm doing basic mainly because for those who said they didn't understand, but those who have understood, yes, it will be easy for you. Okay. All what you need to be doing is you have to have the y-intercept and the slope. So the y-intercept for the first one is going to be 1, right? This is going to be the y-intercept, and the slope is going to be 2 over 1 because that's 2 in front of x. Okay, so for the next inequality, that's going to be the y-intercept is going to be -4, as you can see, and then the slope is going to be 2 over 1 also. Fine. So this is going to be 2 over 1. Fine. Let's graph, and it's both of them say less than. So let's see what we can do here. Okay. So first let's graph the first inequality where the y-intercept was 1. So y-intercept is 1 here. Okay. And the slope was 2 over 1. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 2 up, 1 to the right, 2 up, 1 to the right. So let's just join that. I think 3 points are more than enough. So we straighten it out. Okay, so this is going to be the line now. That's going to be a dotted line or a solid line. Of course, it's going to be a solid line because it said less or equal. So let's color the part. If it's less, means which part are you going to color, the upper or the down part? Of course, you'll be coloring the down part because it says it's less. Okay, now this part is all colored. Okay, what does the next inequality say? It says the y-intercept was 4. So the y-intercept is 4 and -4, sorry. And y-intercept was -4 and the slope was 2 over 1. So 1, 2 to the right 1. 1, 2 to the right 1. 1, 2 and to the 1, 1 to the right. Okay, so here -4 is here, then 1, 2 is here, 1, 2 is here, it's here. Okay, now let's join them. That's going to be this line. Now again, that's also going to be a solid one because it said less or equal. Okay, so let's shade this part. What happened? Okay, it has zoomed to 6,400 pixels. Oof. Mm. Okay. Okay, so that something went wrong, so I had to redraw the graph. Fine, so we had drawn this line. So this line was for the second inequality where the y-intercept was -4 and the slope was 2 over 1. And also it said lesser. Now again, when we are going to color it, okay, which part are we going to color? Of course, we'll color this part, which is down because it says lesser. So all this part I'm going to color. Now, what's the problem in this part? This is why I had uploaded the other video. What do you do when you have a question which the part is being colored shaded by like both the inequalities? What do you say for that? You can see that this part is also being shaded for the first inequality as well as the second inequality. So when one part is shaded by both, as you can see, this is not same as what we wrote all points between parallel lines. No, it's not, because whatever is a under this line is all shaded, and whatever is under this line is all shaded, which means when they ask for the solutions, can I say any point between this is going to be a solution? Of course not. Why? Because this part is not shaded by both the inequalities, only this part is shaded by both the inequalities. So which part, which inequalities line is this? This inequality is for this line, y is less than 2x minus 4. So what do you do when you get some questions like that? You just say same solutions as y is less than, y is as y is less than or equal to 2x minus 4. So here I cannot put the less sign, but you need to realize that there is a less sign. So when the same part is this, like the solution is going to be the same part as one of the inequality, you will write same solution as the line which is covering that part of the graph. Hope this part is clear for you. So let's go move on and then check the homework answers. Okay, so tell whether the ordered pair is a solution of the given system. All what you need to do is substitute the values here. So I will just show you like without all those steps, because I don't need to be repeating steps again and again. So I'll just show you how to do this. For the first inequality, the y is going to be -2, is going to be less than, x is 2 minus 3. So 2 minus 3 is going to give you -1, which means -2. Let me make this bigger. Okay, so -2, 2 minus 3 is going to give you -1. So -2, is -2 lesser than -1? Of course not, right? So even the first inequality itself is not right. Why do we need to go and do the next one? So this is not a solution. So you just have to write the answer as no. That's all. Okay, next one, 2 and 5. So 2, 5 here, 5 is greater than 4, because 2 multiply 2, x is 2, y is 5. So 2 2s are 4. Is y greater than 5? Uh, is 5 greater than 4? Yes, it is. Now here again it will be 5, but instead 2, it will be 2 plus 2 again. So it's 4. So is it again 4 greater or equal, 5 greater or equal to 4? Yes, it is. So the answer for this inequality is going to be yes, because both the inequalities will be correct. Now for question number 3, here we have the value of x as 1 and y as 3. So we put 3 here and 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Is y less than or equal to 3? That's, is 3 less than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. For the first equation, yes, because 3 is equal to 3. Let's move on to the next one. Y, that's 3. Okay, so that's going to be 3 is greater than 4 multiply 1 is 4 minus 1, that's 3. Is 3 greater than 3? Of course not. So first one is going to be yes, but the second one is going to be no. So what's going to be our answer? Do we write yes or no? Of course we need to write no, because we cannot say yes. If it's yes, both the inequalities should be correct. But here the first one was correct, the down one was wrong. So the ordered pair is not a solution. Okay, hope this is clear for you, whereas I did not completely do the steps. Fine. This one, graph the system of linear inequalities. Give 2 ordered pairs that are solutions. Give 2 ordered pairs that are not solutions. Now here we have the slope of 1 over 1 and the intercept is 4. So if you are going to draw the line, that's going to be here. So okay, let me do it in the graph, that will be more clear for you. So the slope is going to be 1 over 1 for this. It's better always you write it down separately so that you will not get confused too. Y-intercept is 4 and this is less than or equal to, which is going to be a solid line. And the next one is y is greater than -2x, so the slope is -2 over the invisible 1, which means it's a fall, and the y-intercept is 0, and that's the greater than or equal to. So both of them are going to be having solid lines, not dotted ones. Okay, so let me graph the first one. That's slope is 1 over 1, right? and the y-intercept was 4. So from 4, you go 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. So I think that's more than enough for us to draw a line. So we join the 3 points straight, and then we extend it. Okay, now which part are we going to shade for this graph when it says less than or equal to? Of course, we have to shade the down part here. Okay, so that was very dirty color. Okay, so we have to shade all this because it says less than. Okay, in the next inequality, we had the slope is going to be -2/1 and the y-intercept is 0. So y-intercept is 0 means we start from here, the y-intercept 0. So -2/1 means you will go 2 down and 1 to the right. So 2 down, 1 to the right is here. 2 down, 1 to the right is here. Now, if you see this, this is what do you call this? It's a negative slope, right? So we just join them. Let's join these 3 points. Okay, so again, which part are we going to color for this? The inequality says it's greater or equal to. So of course, we'll be coloring all the part which is above the line. So we'll be shading this part. Now, once you shade this part, let me show you how your graph looks like. It needs to be something like this. Okay, so once you have shaded this part also, what is the connection between this and giving two ordered pairs? Now you can see that this part which is overlapped by both the colors. Now of course, if we would have colored this, this is going to be something like, let me change the color and show you. This is going to be something like this because it says greater, so all this part is going to be shaded. Okay, now which is the overlapping part, which is the common part for both of the inequality? You can see this part is the common one for both the inequalities, right? This one here, from here, this part, and all this is the common part. Okay, now because that's the common part, you can take any 2 points, for example 3 and 2, or 4 and 1, or 5 and 3, or even 0 0, because 0 0 is also covering that part. Okay, so you can take any 2 coordinates to say that they are the solutions. Okay, now what about not solutions? Whichever part both are not sharing, for example anything from here or anything from this part which they both are not sharing, you will take any one coordinate, any 2 points, like -2 and 2, or -2 and 4, or -4 and -3, up to you, whichever number, even -2 and 1, up to you, whichever 2 points you can take, you can name as the ones which are not solutions. So here they just said 0 and 3 are solutions because 0 and 3 are here, so it's in the shaded common part, and 3 and -2 because it's here, it's in the common part. And which are not solutions? -2 and 0. See, -2 and 0 is here. This part is not shared by both the inequalities, this and this. Okay, similarly, question number 5, I just zoomed it so that you can see the graph clearly. Okay, question number 5. Here, the slope is going to be 1/2. Okay, and the y-intercept is going to be 1. So we start from 1, and then we go 1/2. So 1 up, 2 to the right. 1 up, 2 to the right. And we draw the line. This is the line for y is less than or equal to half x plus 1. It's going to be a solid line because it says less or equal to. Now what about x plus y is less than 3? Of course, it's not in the y-intercept form. So you need to be changing it to y-intercept form. If you change it, you're going to get y is less than negative x plus 3, right? Because you have to change it. So once you change it, I will try to type it there. Doesn't want to. Okay. So I will just do it there. Y is going to be less than negative x plus 3. Now this is the y-intercept form of this. Okay, so the slope is going to be -1/1 because that's always in, we don't write the -1 there, so -1/1, and the slope is going to be 3. So slope is 3, -1 means 1 down, 1 to the right, 1 down, 1 to the right, 1 down, 1 to the right. You will join it with a dotted line because that says only it's less. So you will use a dotted line. Now when they say it's less, of course you'll be shading all this part which is below, and again this also says less, so you will be shading all which is below that line. So which part is common now? Of course this part is common, so you can take any two coordinates to say that they are solutions. For example, you can say 2 and -4 are solutions, -2 and -3 are solutions. Which are not solutions? Anything which is not shared by both the inequalities. For example, 4 and 1, or 5 and 2, or -3 and 2, up to you, whichever point you want to. Okay, so I hope this is very clear, and it's an easy one, it's not difficult. Okay, moving to question number 6. So here again, the intercept is going to be -4, slope is going to be 1/1. Here also slope is going to be 1/1. Intercept is going to be 2. Both are going to be dotted lines because they don't have the equal sign. So let's first graph this. Y is greater than x minus 4. So slope is -4. We start from here. So the slope is 1/1, which means you will go 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. You will join it with a dotted line because it says it's only greater. Now which part are you going to color it as to be greater? You have to color the upper part of that line. So which is the upper part? It's going to be all this part up because it says it is greater. Next one is okay, next one is lesser. So here again, the intercept is positive +2 and the slope is 1/1. So you start from the intercept, and then 1/1 means 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, and then you will join the line. Now the inequality says it's lesser, so you will color all the part which is below the line. For the first one, you colored all the part above the line. For the next one, you will color all the part below the line. So you will get this common part, which will be colored by both the inequalities. Now, when that's been colored by both the inequalities, as solutions, you can take any two inequalities which is in this area. For which are not solutions, you can take any two inequalities in these areas, which are not colored by overlapped or which are not shared by both the inequalities. Okay. So this was the easiest homework, I think, because it was nothing to think, nothing to worry about, just you need to give solutions. Okay, now this one I know most of you will not do, but still let's discuss it because it will be helpful when you have MCQs. Okay, Charlie makes $10 per hour babysitting and $5 per hour gardening. So 1 hour of babysitting is $10 and 1 hour of gardening is $5. She wants to make at least $80 a week, but can work no more than 12 hours a week. Now, this word "no more than" means it's gonna be less than or equal to. She cannot work more than that, but she can work 12 or less than that. So here they write a system of linear equations. So first you have to write it here. So how did they do? They said X is babysitting, Y is the gardening one. So the babysitting hours and the gardening hours, she cannot work more than 12. So she has to either work 12 or less than that. Then the next one, for babysitting, it's 10x, 10 for 1 hour plus 5 for 1 hour of gardening, which should be she wants to at least make 80. At least means she wants to make 80 or more than that. So which means it should be greater or equal to 80. Now, if you graph it, of course, you will have to change this to y-intercept form. So once you change that to y-intercept form, this is going to be y is less than or equal to -x plus 12. So which means the slope is the intercept is going to be 12. Okay, and the slope is going to be -1/1. So you go down 1. Okay. I have no idea how the graph is given in your book, whether the numbers are given or what, I don't know, but I think you can just see how they have done here. they have taken a scale like this. Okay, so here is the problem. Here what they have done is they have skipped, like here this is 6, so in between they left some, that's going to be 9 in between, and then 12. So they have taken the graph like that. And if you want to do the other way, yes, you can do. You can name each square as 1 2, and then it will be, if you do that, it's going to be easier. So here they said less, so they have colored the part down under it. Okay, then this is again, if you make this into y-intercept form, that's going to give you y is greater or equal to negative 2x plus 16. Okay, so which means the slope is going to be negative 2 over 1, and the intercept is going to be 16. So this is the line for that. The intercept is 16. Negative 2 means you will go 2 down and 1 to the right, go 2 down, 1 to the right. So if you draw the line, you will get this. Now because they said that's greater, so they have shaded all the part which is above, as you can see the common part here. Now next is they said describe all possible combination of hours that Charlene could work at each job. So here you have to describe the solution. So how did they describe this? Said any combination of hours represented by the ordered pairs in the solution region. Remember we wrote something like all points between the lines. Now of course these are not parallel lines, right? So we cannot say all points between the parallel lines. So what we need to do is we need to put it in a correct way. So you can say it as all the hours represented by the shaded or the solution region. You can just write it in your own words, that's all. But I just wanted you to concentrate on this part because it's going to be something when if you have MCQs. So here they said list 2 possible combinations. So 2 possible combinations, how she can earn $80. So what did they say? They said 6 hours of babysitting and 4 hours of gardening. So 6 hours of babysitting and 4 hours of gardening is this point. So any point here, like for example 9 hours of babysitting and I think this is 2 hours of gardening, that also can be a point. So any point in this area she can earn $80. See here again they said 8 hours of babysitting and 2 hours of gardening. So 8 is here, and 2 hours of gardening it's somewhere here. So this point also can be any point which is in this shaded area. Okay, I hope this lesson is clear for you girls. So, and also this is going to be the last lesson for you all for algebra. Hopefully until we meet next time, keep studying and enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to enjoy your weekend, and take care of yourself.